Well. The Denver Broncos are sitting currently at an 80% chance to make the playoffs, according to some NFL prediction models. And we're going to dive into some different scenarios. We're going to talk about what it means and how important is this game against the Cleveland Browns. Really, we'll dive in, guys. It is that time, right? And I'm excited because as Bronco fans, to even be talking about the playoffs at this particular point of the season, which is kind of early compared to last year, it's exciting, man. It's been a long time. So stay tuned. We'll get into that. If it's your first time visiting, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. My name is Mark. I'm a Marky Sports. I'm a Denver native here. And I love me some Denver Broncos, but I love all Denver sports. I love the Nuggets and the Avs too. No Rockies on this channel. So if you like the Rockies, sorry in advance. But consider hitting that subscribe button below that you see. Give it a little smash-a-roni for me. Like the video. And let's interact in the comments. Let's talk. Let's make some new community. And I would love to make a couple of new friends. So I appreciate you guys in advance. All right. Let's get into it, guys. The Denver Broncos are currently sitting kind of pretty right now, man. And I don't like to do this because I don't want to make it seem like we don't have to take care of business, right? It's all about controlling the controllables. That's something that I talk about in my personal life, talk about that at work, in my business life, and I will always talk about that when it comes to my sports teams. But right now, the Broncos have an 80% chance to make the playoffs after all of the different scenarios that took place over, today on Sunday. And here's the thing: I was really shocked and upset and kind of irritated at the fact that the Patriots blew that lead that they had against the Colts. The Colts, really showed that they had the guts to be able to go for it on two, and they ended up getting a win, which really actually would have helped the Broncos. But in reality, the Steelers winning, shout out to Russ. Russ, it's about time, bro. You know what, Russell Wilson, you owed us. You screwed us in a lot of different ways, man. So I appreciate you at least helping us out a little bit today. But by the Steelers beating the Bengals, that actually was a bigger win for us than the Colts. And I think mainly it's because we actually played the Colts after the bye. So it puts a little bit more of that control back in our hands. We got an 80% chance as it currently stands to make the playoffs. Now, what does that mean? That means that our game against the Broncos, against the Browns, if we end up losing that game goes down to 54% if we end up losing that game. And that's a pretty big swing. It's a pretty big swing. So you come over here, you know, the Broncos end up winning that game, and then they'll basically have a chance to essentially, I mean, really, you can look at it like essentially clinch a guaranteed playoff berth against the Colts after the bye week, and that's taking into account like not the factors that happened during the bye week itself. So like if the Chargers end up losing, that gives us an opportunity to be able to surpass the Chargers, or gives us one additional opponent that we're competing with the playoff spot for. So it could go up more, but it's a pretty big difference in terms of the way in which the playoff scenario calculator happens. But my message to Broncos country is this: so many times in the past, we've always worried about what other teams are doing, right? And this kind of goes back all the way for me when I think about it. This goes all the way back to the Jake Plummer, Jay Cutler days, right? I used to always worry so much about, what other teams did, or we only have to win one out of the next four, and if this, and this, and this, in that scenario. But important thing here is that the Broncos are in the driver's seat to be able to get themselves a playoff win. They are 2 full games ahead of whoever is behind them. They happen to play that next team that's behind them at some point in the year, and then the team that's above them by 1 game, they play them as well. And so they are fully on in the driver's seat. And I think it's the most important for us as Broncos fans to worry about controlling what we can control. And I think we all know that. I'm not saying that anybody thinks otherwise. But let's face it, guys. All right, let's face it. This game against the Browns is monumentally huge. It means everything to this team for several different reasons. You have the bye coming after, right? So not only do you want momentum going into the bye week, but in addition to that, you do not want the bye week to be in the back of the players' minds and have them, have it essentially, linger in terms of the way in which we're playing this game. So I would love to see the Broncos come out to a fast start, put it on the Browns early and just be, really ready to play. Um, and I expect for the defense to be able to really get after Jameis and honestly get a lot of turnovers if we're able to, especially if we're able to get them some sort of a lead. So my message is this: Broncos country, if you're going to the game, you're going to be there tomorrow night. Man, we got to be loud. We got to be into it. We can't have those moments where if we don't start fast, the crowd gets, the crowd isn't into it. I don't care about none of that. We got to be cheering our asses off, and we got to get this W. So this is a huge, huge, huge game for us in so many different ways, and it's another great test. It's another great test because the Browns, regardless of what the record is, they're a solid team. They're fundamentally sound. They've got a really, really good coach, and they're an AFC North opponent. And AFC North opponents they're just tough teams to play against. So it's going to be a really good test and a good opportunity. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to step up. Right? How's Levi Wallace going to play in his new role? And when you looked at him, his past, his history, he's actually a really solid corner. How's Javonte Williams and Julian McLaughlin and Audric Estime? How are they going to respond and play ultimately in this game? And who's going to step up outside of Cortland Sutton? Because I do have a really weird feeling, and I hope I'm wrong, but I have a really weird feeling that Denzel Ward is going to really limit Cortland Sutton and what he does on Monday, tomorrow night. And if that's the case, it's fine, right? It's not like it's the end of the world, but it's going to force others to need to step up. And I cannot wait to find out who who those people are, if any. So let's get this Broncos country. Let's rally behind the squad. I want you guys to let me know what you think below in the comments about who do you think is going to step up in tomorrow's game, and also the other playoff scenarios, right? How are we feeling about our chances of making the playoffs, regardless of what the calculations say? How are we feeling about it? But let's go Broncos, baby. I just want to make a quick video. I wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but just wanted to put something out for you guys. I appreciate y'all. Remember very much, more important than anything else, spend time with the people that you love the most. Go Broncos. And until the next time, y'all have a nice night. Peace out.